Hey, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Let's learn with Lissy. Today we are going to dive into a thought-provoking story from your class 10th English textbook, A Letter to God by G.L. Fuentes. This story is all about faith, hope, and the irony of human nature. So stay with me as we explore its summary, themes, and exam points in detail. Let's begin with a quick look at the author. G.L. Fuentes was a famous Mexican novelist and journalist. Born in the year 1895, he spent much of his life writing about the struggles of poor farmers and rural people in Mexico. His stories often showed the harsh realities of life mixed with deep emotions and simple yet powerful messages. A Letter to God is one of his most well known short stories and is loved for its universal theme of faith and human kindness. This story is a classic example of realistic fiction with a touch of satire and irony. It's set in a rural Mexican village with simple people, simple lives, and simple yet strong beliefs. The main character is Lencho, a poor but hardworking farmer who believes in God with an almost childlike faith. The tone of the story moves between serious, humorous, and ironic, making it a great study piece for your exams. So, what's the story about? Lencho is a farmer who lives on a hill with his family. His entire livelihood depends on the crops he grows. One year, his crops are almost ready, but they desperately need some rain. And just as he hopes, it starts raining. But the joy doesn't last long because the gentle rain soon turns into a hailstorm. The hailstones destroy all his crops, leaving him and his family facing hunger. Lencho, heartbroken but still full of faith, doesn't give up. Instead, he decides to write a letter to God. Yes, an actual letter addressed to God, asking for 100 pesos to help him survive. He writes it with complete sincerity and posts it at the local post office. Now, the postmaster reads this unusual letter and is both surprised and touched by Lencho's simple faith in God. The postmaster, along with his friends and fellow workers, collect money for Lencho, but they can only manage 70 pesos, not the full 100. They put the money in an envelope and send it to Lencho, pretending it's from God. Lencho receives the letter, but instead of feeling grateful, he becomes angry. He thinks and quotes that the post office employees must have stolen the remaining 30 pesos. So he writes a second letter to God asking him to send the money directly next time and not through the crooks at the post office. A Letter to God title justification. The title perfectly captures the essence of the story. The entire plot revolves around Lencho's simple act of writing a letter to God, a powerful symbol of faith, trust, and innocence. It also highlights the central irony. Even when human beings act kindly, they might still be misunderstood. So, yes, the title is not just catchy, it is meaningful. Now let's ponder upon the themes of the story. The first and the strongest theme is faith in God. Lencho's unwavering belief shows how people rely on faith during hardships. His direct communication with God emphasizes his simplicity and innocence. Then we are having irony as a very important theme of the story. It is a situational irony because the helpers, that is the post office staff members who helped him, are suspected of theft by the very person they helped. Then we are having a dramatic irony where the readers know the truth, but Lencho does not. Next, we are having the theme of humanity and compassion. The postmaster's action proves the goodness in people. The story suggests that sometimes God answers prayers through humans only. Finally, we are having the theme of naivety and innocence. Lencho's simplicity makes him blind to human kindness. He can't imagine anyone but God helping him, leading to his mistrust. Then let's focus on some important quotations from the story. The first one is, it's during the meal with the house made of transparent glass that a strong wind began to blow. This quotation is The next quotation, God, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. This line is written by Lencho in the letter addressed to God, where he is mentioning asking for help from God because his crops are destroyed and he wanted 100 pesos. And he's saying that without your help, we are going to starve out to death. Finally, we are having the last lines by Lencho, which is again addressed to God, where he writes the second letter to God, mentioning that only send me the rest through the mail because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks. This line, particularly, is very, very important in the story because this is the major irony which is presented by the author to the readers, that despite the fact the post office employees had a great deal in managing the money for Lencho, instead of being grateful, he is calling them bunch of crooks and accusing them of theft. The moral of the story is quite simple. Faith can move mountains, but blind faith can lead to misunderstanding. Humanity often works as an instrument of God's help because sometimes God answers the prayer through humans. It teaches us about empathy, kindness, and simplicity of rural life. In the conclusion, A Letter to God beautifully portrays the contrast between childlike faith and human compassion, leaving readers to ponder about the nature of belief and the irony of human assumption. It encourages us to appreciate the unseen hands that come to our aid. Let's focus on some possible exam questions. First will be the character sketch of Lencho, then theme of faith and irony, role of the postmaster, symbolism of the letter, the moral value or the message of the story, and also you have to focus on the conflict which is presented in the story. What type of conflicts are given in the story, whether it is a man versus man or man versus nature or man versus self. I will be soon posting a video covering all these topics separately and link it in the description box. So that's it for today. If you felt like this video was helpful for you, kindly hit the like button and subscribe my channel for more English reference in future. Thank you.